everyone, I'm OO. Have you ever had a moment when something was already done perfectly, but you just couldn't resist doing a little extra and ended up messing it all up? More than 2,000 years ago in China, someone left everyone a lesson that still applies today with just a simple painting. During the Warring States period, Chinese states were constantly at war. Do you remember last time we talked about a farmer in the state of Song waiting by a stump for rabbits? This time, today's story comes from the state of Chu. Let me give you a quick intro to the Warring States period. It lasted from 475 to 221 BC. It was a time of division in China, with several powerful states fighting for supremacy. At the beginning of the Warring States period, there were quite a few small states, but over time, they were either annexed or disappeared. In the end, only 7 strongest states remained, the 7 warring states or 7 powerful states. Qi, Chu, Yan, Zhao, Han, Wei, and Qin. Think of it a bit like early modern Europe or the ancient Greek city-states. Lots of small powers competing through war or alliance. Eventually, one state unified China and ended this chaos. This period was also crucial for Chinese thought because major schools like Confucianism and legalism formed or developed during these times. Back to our story. A noble family in Chu had just finished a grand ancestral ritual. It's a grand ceremony to honor their ancestors. After the ceremony, there was a pot of fine wine left over. This wine was fragrant and smooth. One sip and you'd be in heaven. Chinese wine culture is super old and rich, but today we don't research it. The master of the house decided to share the wine with his guests and servants. There was a catch. There was only one pot of wine, but many people. If they shared it, everyone would get just a sip, barely enough. If they gave it to one person, the others would complain. Everyone argued and no solution came up. Then a clever man suggested, "Arguing doesn't solve the problem. Let's have a contest. Draw a snake. Whoever draws the snake best and fastest gets a win." In ancient times, competitions included calligraphy, painting, poetry, archery, horseback riding, and more. Why do they choose to compete in things like calligraphy and painting? Because Chinese people have long believed that your handwriting reflects who you are. 字如其人. Your handwriting is like your personality. For example, if your handwriting is neat and beautiful, then you might also be like this. If your writing looks strong and bold, then your personality is likely decisive. In exams, good handwriting can give you a better chance of getting higher scores in subjects like literature because it makes the tired teacher's eyes feel more comfortable. Chinese thinking often likes to see the big picture from small details, 以小见大, using tiny clues to make bigger judgments. This man suggested having a painting competition. Everyone thought that was fair, so they crouched down and grabbed sticks to draw in the dirt as fast as they could. One guy was both quick and skilled. Soon, he had drawn the snake's body, scales, and head perfectly, clean and lifelike. He looked up and saw that everyone else was still struggling, barely halfway down. He felt super proud, grabbed the wine pot, and thought, I've got plenty of time. I can even add legs to my snack. So he left hand holding the wan, right hand holding the stick. He slowly drew 4 tiny legs on his neck, completely pleased with himself. But just then, another person finished his snack. He snatched the wan point and shouted, "Snacks don't have legs. If you add legs, it's no longer a snack. How can the wine be yours?" Everyone agreed. The first guy who had added the legs was left speechless. Watching the other enjoy the wine while he didn't get a simple sip, he stomped his feet in regret. If you've already won the contest, would you keep changing your answer? Sometimes people don't lose because they didn't try hard enough. They lose because they did too much. Think about your own way. Ever overdone something? In an exam, you might have written the perfect answer at the first instinct, but then you try to improve it and change it, but finally it's wrong. So don't push for perfection where it's unnecessary. Remember this idiom: don't add legs to the snack. 画蛇添足. You might still remember the idioms I mentioned today, seeing the big picture from small details, 以小见大, and your handwriting is like you, 字如其人. Hope you enjoyed what I shared. See you next time. Bye.